Okay, hi everyone. I think we are now live. Yeah, that sounds promising. So, if you haven't already heard, big news. The Education Secretary has just announced this last hour that schools across England are going to be closed and that all of your public examinations are cancelled for this academic year. So let us know how you're feeling, how this impacts you, if it's the decision you were expecting, if you're really shocked. We don't really have a massive plan for this live stream. We're just here to, I think, listen to you, get your opinions, and also we really want to hear from you what you want to know more about. Obviously, at the moment, they said that exams are cancelled and that students will be awarded the qualifications they deserve, but there's not much detail yet about exactly how that will happen, how they will make sure that your grades are fair, if they'll use, how they'll use your mock grades compared to teacher suggestion, any coursework you might have. So yeah, keep the comments coming in and let us know. I'll just have a flick through and read here. Emily Morrison, you're in college and meant to be retaking, have no clue what will happen. Lewis, so sad. Alicia, my mocks are terrible. What about coursework? Yeah, I think it's really scary. Kimberly, yeah, so scary. Really hope they tell us what's going on soon. We'll be monitoring the situation really, really closely to find out all the latest updates. I've just got Twitter open here. We'll read through some of the tweets that are going on here. Someone's here saying it's absolutely essential that Boris Johnson clarifies what will happen with the exams and university places for Year 13s as soon as they've had a chance to think it through. Needs a process and needs clarity ASAP. I think that's something we can all agree with. Is there anyone in Year 13 in the comments here? Let us know. Let us know how you're feeling, or if you've heard anything from UCAS yet, actually. Let me have a look on the UCAS website. So yeah, at the moment, there's no update on the UCAS coronavirus page. I'm sure there will be soon. Luana, they are cancelled. In the UK, GCSEs and A-levels are cancelled. Stars, yes. Exams are being cancelled. They're not being postponed. The line from the UK Education Secretary, goodness, I can't find it now. There's so much I've got to scroll past already. No exams this year, UK Education Secretary says. This year's exams will not go ahead. GCSEs and A-levels are not happening this year. Luana's asking, will they use predicted grades? The official government line at the moment is that they have not worked that out yet. They will be working really closely with Ofqual, the qualifications board and the exam boards, to work out exactly the fairest way of awarding everybody their GCSEs and A-levels. So that will probably be some combination of your mock grades, your previous progress in school. I think a lot of it will be based on your just teachers using your classwork. If you've got a subject with coursework, you may have finished some of that could be used, but officially that has not been worked out yet. I imagine there will be an update before the end of the week, because obviously it's a really, really big worry for people. Yeah, we'll update you as soon as we have any more information. Star 761, what happens to people who are resitting A-levels? Again, I imagine, well, they would still use your predicted grades for your resit, I would imagine, but that would be a question to ask your teachers or tutors as soon as you can. Jack, do you know how I find out my predicted grades? Jack, you will have to ask your school or your teachers. Auntie Fufu saying this isn't fair. No, I think a lot of people are really feeling like this isn't fair. Saw another tweet before, someone just saying they're feeling really lost, which I think sums it up really well. Richard Me 123, is it worth continuing with revision? I mean, yes, it is. You will. It's still part of your education. I guess revision might not be the right word, but you should still be considering continuing with learning and things. If you're doing redoing A levels at home, that's a really good question. I suppose if you're doing A levels on your own at home, you won't have teachers who can give you predicted grades necessarily. There will be procedures for people who aren't happy with their grades to appeal. Let me just find the message. Yeah. Mr. Johnson says he will ensure children due to sit crucial exams will get the qualifications they need, though he adds that at this stage he cannot go into detail about how that might happen. There was another message from the Education Secretary, which I can't find right now, but the UK's National Education Union, which is the union of teachers, here is saying that it welcomes the government's decision. It's better for this to take place in an ordered way than the chaotic pattern of closures that was developing, Kevin Courtney, the union's joint secretary, said. Cancelling SATs, GCSE, AS and A-level exams offers some degree of reassurance to teachers, their students and parents. Now, let me know what you think about that. Are you feeling reassured at the moment? It seems like some of you probably aren't. But yeah, let us know. Let us know what else you want to find out more about. At the moment, I think it's just exactly how your predicted grades would be used. Will we sit exams later? Maddie Bricker, no, this year public exams are all cancelled. You won't be sitting GCSEs or A levels. I'm not sure which one you might be taking, unless of course you re-enter yourself the following year, which I suppose would be a possibility for people, but that would be your decision. It wouldn't be a general rule applied to everyone. Imani Pink here saying, I'm glad schools will close, but you're fuming that students will get predicted grades. Shooting Star saying you don't want your predicted grades either. Saxter Rose, it is cancelled. I'm sorry, or unless you're in a different country, but in the UK, all the GCSE and A-level exams will not be taking place. Jack to Play, no, they're not being delayed. They are being cancelled. Alex Pullen, what are the chances of content being cut down in the 2021 exams? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm sure we'll hear more from the government in the coming days. As we said, this really is a breaking news story, and there's a lot of detail left to be worked out. Johnny Does Gaming, are universities and colleges still open for now? No, I think most universities have closed their doors, although that would be a decision for individual universities, but there's a lot in a lot of the university websites and news stories I've seen in the last couple of days have been that universities are closing and sending people home, possibly doing online exams for third year students, but for first and second year students, exams seem to be cancelled. Across the board. Saxter Rose, yes, cancelled in the UK. Let's see. Alicia Anderson saying, I feel really sorry for A-level students. Yeah, me too. It must be really, really hard. I think, especially when you spent so long working towards these handful of exams to take. It's, really concerning. D. Conan asking, how will I go to university? So I'll read you what the UCAS website says, although this hasn't been updated in light of the latest announcement yet. the UCAS website says, if there are any significant changes that will affect you or your application, we will email you using the email address on your application. And here, so meeting the conditions of your offer. You have until the 31st of August to meet the academic conditions of any offers you have received. So, if there is a delay to the publication of exam results, it should not impact any of your offers being confirmed. There are no changes to the examination timetable. So, this is obviously the bit where it falls down. If changes are made, as they have now been, we will contact you to let you know what this means for your application. If an extension to this date, so that date of the 31st of August, is necessary, we'll let you know as soon as we can. In the past, universities have taken mitigating circumstances into account when assessing applications or changes to exam results due to events beyond your control. So you should hear from UCAS soon, although obviously they will be dealing with a really huge volume of queries from people. So yeah, who knows what they'll actually say to you. They'll probably need to consult with a lot of university heads, but the situation is so unprecedented. We really don't know yet. Emily Cade here asking, are students overseas but doing the British curriculum going to also have exams cancelled? I would have thought so if you are sitting the same exam boards that would be sat in the UK, but I don't know that 100%. You'll have to check with your school or college and find out for sure. But this news is really, really hot off the press. And there's a lot of details still to be worked out. Emil Ashton asking, is it too late for teachers to change your predicted grades? I wouldn't have thought so. The teachers will, I imagine, in due course, be submitting your predicted grades to the exam boards. The official line from the Prime Minister and the Education Secretary is that the exact details of how you will be awarded your grades for the exams that you should have been taking, exactly how that will all be worked out. So, yeah, watch this space. Zubair Khan, is there a possibility that the exams will be rescheduled or are they cancelled? So in the UK for GCSE and A-level exams, they are cancelled. They're not going to be rescheduled. Now, I guess if you really wanted to take your exams, you might be able to resit the year, but that's not going to be the policy for everybody. The official policy will be that people will be awarded grades, even though they're not taking exams, likely based on their predicted grades or their mock grades, or their progress in class from teachers, but the exact details are yet to be worked out. Kamar Kazimi asking, what's happening with IGCSEs? I'm not sure about that yet. You will have to check with your school or teachers. I will just have another quick check and see if there has been any news. I can't see anything about IGCSEs yet, but it's kind of hard to try and keep up with everything on the live stream just now. Yaya Ganda asking, will they use predicted grades towards the IB diploma if exams get cancelled? That seems more than likely. Again, I don't know. All this news is really fresh. Alejandro Vasquez asking, what's your profession? How do I know all this? Everything that I'm telling you here is just stuff that is coming off the UK news from the UK House of Commons live stream that was on this afternoon. You can watch on parliament.tv to watch the debate, well, watch their speeches live. That's where all this information is coming from. Luana, are our grades going to be accurate? As some teachers might not want to give predictions of nines despite some people getting nines. So we don't know exactly how your predicted grades are going to work, but what the message from Ofqual and from the government is that they will do everything they can to make it as fair as possible. So one suggestion in an article I read earlier was that the exam boards would look at the accuracy of your school's predictions for Key Stage 2 data and use that to see if your school consistently overpredicts people's grades or undermarks them or gets it about right, and use that to moderate all the predicted grades across the country. So they'll make it as fair as they possibly can. Ellie Neville Forever, how will we get grades? I want to go to college. So you will get your grades. The exact details of how it will be worked out, we really don't know yet. The government has just announced literally an hour ago, less than an hour ago, that the exams will be cancelled. So they will be working with the exam boards and the qualifications authority to work out the fairest way of making sure that everyone gets the grades that they need. And there's another message as well saying that anybody not happy with those grades that they're awarded, there will be a robust procedure for them to appeal that. Again, exactly what that looks like, we don't know, but that is what the government is telling us at the moment. Alicia Anderson, imagine the teacher stressing students over GCSEs for 5 years and then the coronavirus steps in and says, I'll take it from here. Yes. No, I think we haven't been working on our exam season project for quite 5 years, but it's been a really busy, hard-working few months for us here at MSE, and yeah, coronavirus certainly has taken it from here. It's a tough week for a lot of people. Crypto Ghoul saying Key Stage 2 data, excuse me. Yeah, I imagine there'll be quite a few people feeling that as well. Harvey, you're confused. Tell me, what are you confused about, Harvey? Let me know, we'll do our best. Who else is here? Kimberly W saying, I'm in year 11 and I'm concerned about college. Guessing year 11s won't be going into further education soon. I don't think that's the case, Kimberly. Say, if you're in year 11, you will get your GCSE grades, same as you would have done. You just won't have to take the exams. And given the scale of the situation, the number of students affected, which is about 600,000 students take GCSEs, that people don't want you to be denied your opportunities for going on to your next steps. So you will be able to get into your college based on the grades that you are awarded. We just don't know yet exactly how those grades will be awarded to you. Alicia Anderson saying, yes, my school does your predicted grades from Key Stage 2 data sometimes get used, but you're predicted a 7. Well, it sounds like it's maybe worked out quite well for you, Alicia. I wouldn't complain. So somebody here was asking about Scottish exams. Scottish schools are all closing from Friday, and I'm kind of assuming that the SQ exams would also be cancelled, but actually I can't find anything that explicitly says that just yet. Give me a second, I'll just get on Twitter. Uh, 2 hours ago, I think, is their latest tweet, which says the Scottish Government and SQA will continue to review the latest evidence in consultation with members of the Qualifications Contingency Group and will communicate further updates as necessary. So our Exceptional Circumstances Service, which allows a school or college who believe that a candidate has suffered, for example, bereavement or illness during exams, or has been self-isolating, to inform us of the circumstances and submit alternative evidence of attainment demonstrated by the candidate. Will be available. So yeah, this service will be available. Schools and colleges should be gathering any alternative evidence on candidate performance as they would do in the normal way and as per our guidance every year to support any consideration of exceptional circumstances. There is a range of alternative assessment evidence that we can take into account, which can include coursework, class, or other assessments. This evidence should inform estimated grades as it should every year. So Scotland is not but yeah, the SQA feed is not saying anything about Scottish exams being cancelled yet, although I'd be surprised if they were to go ahead, given that the schools are all closed and GCSEs and A-levels have been cancelled, and bearing in mind that the Scottish exams are due to start 2 weeks before GCSEs and A-levels as well. So I'm sorry not to be more helpful there, but again, we'll keep you updated as soon as we can. Marco Pietra, where is this information being read from? So all the information that I've been talking about has come from the UK Parliament update from the House of Commons speech that took place at 5:15 this evening from the Education Secretary. And then I'm also just looking on the UCAS website for Year 13 students in the UK here, and on the Scottish Qualifications Authority Twitter page. So everything that I'm saying is available online on Twitter or on the news websites. Let's see who else is in the comments. Alicia Anderson, I'm glad I didn't revise. John Liu here saying I want to do my GCSEs. Crypto Ghoul here. This is a good question. So what if our predicted grades prevented us from going into college, and your exams are your only chance of getting into higher education? How will you convince a college to take us in? The official line from the Education Secretary is that there will be a process, a procedure for people who are unhappy with the grades that they've been allocated to appeal and make alternative arrangements. So exactly what that looks like, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see, and so here at MSE we will keep you updated as often as we can as soon as new information becomes available. Daniel Riaz, update, need a simple answer. I study A-levels, are they cancelled? If you're studying A-levels in the UK, yes, they are cancelled. Yahya Gandar saying, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I guess that's for you to decide. Let's see. Kimberly W asking, do you know when we'll find out more about this? We don't know exactly when. I don't think it will be long. We know that the Education Secretary is meeting with some of the head teachers union bosses again tonight, or should be, unless that has changed. They're not going to want to let this drag on for too long because there are so many people who are worried. 600,000 GCSE students, maybe half as many A-level students, something like that. It's an awful lot of people who have questions. So hopefully before the end of the week, but again, this information is just coming from the UK government. We're not making any decisions, unfortunately. Erin Lacey, I was just revising, I'm shook. I think a lot of people will be. Shooting Star, same, I want to do my GCSEs. Nicola Davey, does this include Northern Ireland? Yes. Northern Ireland schools are all closed as of now. The GCSEs and A-levels are cancelled. Jack, I have a random essay that's due tomorrow. Do you think I need to do it? Well, if you're in England, Wales or Scotland, then you are still meant to be going to school tomorrow. So you probably should do your essay. Richard Me 123. I'm taking the Welsh exam board for geography. Are they doing the same? Yes. Rima Al-Zajali, what about Qatar? I can't help you there. I'm really sorry. We're in the UK here and we've been following the situation here. So yeah, I can't help you. Erin Lacey, thank you for this live feed. It's really helping. I'm glad, Erin. So we don't have any more information to give you than anything that's already on the news websites or on Twitter, but we really want to hear what you guys are thinking, what you are most worried about, what you might want to find out more about, so we can try and spend a bit of time finding stuff out. Jack saying, I think the fairest thing they can do now is to give people their predicted grades that were sent off to UCAS. It seems likely that that will happen, but the government is saying that they don't know the exact mechanism by which they will work out your predicted grades. The same goes for your question, Uruj Zahid. Are A-level exams completely cancelled in the UK? If yes, how do we get our grades? Yes, they are. Your grades will be determined based on a range of things that have not yet been confirmed, but it's likely to include your predicted grades, any mock grades, probably calibrated according to your performance kind of earlier on in school. So if you're an A-level student, they might take your GCSE grades into account to see how your predicted A-level grades look compared to those. But so we don't know this yet. Maybe keep talking 5 more minutes. Get your comments, keep your comments coming in. Imani Giselle saying, is this going to happen everywhere or just in the UK? We're only talking about the UK here. Depending on where you are, you will have to check with your school, check the news websites in your country, and try and find out there. Rosie Myhill saying, I'm worried about my resit because I don't want to be doing it in year 13. That's a really valid concern. I think a lot of people are feeling the same. I don't know. I imagine that you'd still get your predicted grade for your resit, but that is a question that we can try and do some more research on tomorrow and come back to you with an update, because I think there'll be a lot of people in the same position who are retaking English or maths. Although there are resit exams in November, so it could just be that you would be expected to take your resit in November instead of in June. But this is just speculation. Raymond Dino here asking, do we have to finish coursework? I would say this is probably a really good opportunity for you to absolutely smash your coursework out the park and use that to help get your predicted grade as high as possible. Your teachers are going to want as much evidence as possible about how you're performing, and if you can submit some really, really strong coursework, then that's only going to help you get the best predicted grade you can. Hasib here saying, you need help. I applied to a grammar, I need a 7.7 to get in, but my predicted grade is a 6. Will they accept me? I don't know. Again, this is a question for your school and the school that you've applied to. Because of the circumstances, nobody knows exactly how your predicted grades are going to be worked out according to the exam boards yet, but we'll have an update on that as soon as possible. Let's see. Raymond Dino, okay, that's a really good question, and one that's come up a few times on some of the videos that we have put out in the last few days. What if you can only do coursework in school because of certain machines needed? I guess you might be talking about DT, I suppose, with tools. That is a question for your school. If you're doing maybe media studies or something where you just need a piece of software, potentially your school could help provide you with that, copies that you can use at home, or provide you with laptops that you can take home. That's a question for your school at the moment. Kimberly saying you still have your DT to finish as well. Yeah, these are all really good questions, and we can try and do our best to find out some more and come back to you with another update tomorrow. Let's see, have a look at a few more comments. Material design here, you're worried that predicted grades would be unfair because different colleges do it differently. Yeah, so we don't know exactly how your grades would be awarded yet. The UK government is still saying that it will be working with the exam boards and with Ofqual to work that out. They're not just going to take a single number from your school and give you that. They will be looking for a range of different data to try and make it as fair as they possibly can. Let's see. Justin Wong, does this apply for IGCSE? We don't know yet. So this announcement was just a UK government announcement. I imagine if you're sitting IGCSEs in the UK and your school is closed and everything else is cancelled, it would seem likely that it's cancelled. But I'm not 100% sure on that. That's another one that we can do some more research on and try and get back to you with another update tomorrow. Raheem2922 saying this feels like the worst year ever. Yeah, I imagine a lot of people are feeling very down as well. Let's see. I see you've got an 8 in your science mock, so you're feeling calm. Well, that's good. Emily Hollingshead here asking will there be exams but in a different form. If you're in the UK and you're supposed to be taking GCSEs or A levels, no, you will not be sitting exams this year. You will have a grade awarded, but exactly how that will be graded remains to be seen. Okay. I'm going to look at 2 more comments and then wrap this up, and we'll get back to you with an update tomorrow and do as much research as we can before that. So Mazpat asking, how about students that are retaking exams? Will they have the original grades used or predicted even though they've revised really hard for these exams? We don't know that yet. I think if you're entered for a retake, you should probably get your predicted grades for that retake, but that remains to be seen as well. We'll have to wait for confirmation. And Emily Hollingshead, is that 100% guaranteed there will be no exams at any form for A levels? Yes. If you go on the live updates on coronavirus pages, the Education Secretary announced in his speech an hour ago that there will be no exams. So I'm going to wrap up there. Thank you all so much for tuning in and for all your comments and questions. We've got a lot to think about there, and here at MSE we're going to spend as much time as we can trying to find out all the answers to your questions, and we'll come back with you with another update for you tomorrow. Keep commenting though on the video after we've finished this live, and keep the questions coming in and let us know how you're feeling. We know there's still a hell of a lot of uncertainty, and we're doing our best to update you as best we can. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, we'll be back soon.